In this space-age world we live in, it's still the simple pleasures we enjoy the most. And the romance and beauty of a wood fire is often a part of the scene. Family, friends, and the warmth and comfort of a wood stove and fireplace have become a familiar and everyday part of modern living. But today's wood stove is also a modern wood heating appliance, providing safe, efficient, and economical home heating. Built to meet stringent safety and air quality standards, modern wood heating appliances come in a vast variety of styles, colors, and shapes to fit the decor of any home. Modern, traditional, classic. Whatever your tastes, you'll find a wood heating appliance that will grace your home with warmth, comfort, and the pure, simple enjoyment that comes from wood burning. As with most modern appliances, the evolution into the modern age was not without trials. America had just left behind World War II. The boys were home, the economy was on the rise, and the good life seemed attainable by everyone. Younger families wanted the latest new appliances that relied on a seemingly endless supply of oil, gas, and electricity for power. The old standby, dependable wood stove of Mom and Dad's era fell out of favor, replaced by the new look of modern heating appliances. And the good life did indeed continue. Cars got bigger, homes more spacious, and appliances used more fuel. Then the bubble burst. Bigger and faster cars weren't much good in a gas line. The Middle East oil embargo changed the course of America's consumptive ways. Americans now found themselves relying on foreign supplies for fuel. Americans again returned to their old standby, wood, and no wonder. Faced with higher heating bills and dwindling fuel supply, wood, an abundant and renewable native resource, became an excellent alternative. Unfortunately, wood stoves had been out of favor for more than 2 decades. During that time, the wood heating industry had become smaller. Wood stove technology had not kept pace. During the same period, our air quality was suffering under the onslaught of a modern industrial world. Reduced air quality, stemming by and large from the reliance on oil-based fuels and coal, became everyone's problem. Unfortunately, some of the blame fell on the small but growing wood stove industry, in part because of the lack of a public education about good burning habits and the industry lag in stove technology. Matters were complicated by industry efforts to build more wood heating units. Wood had become a popular source of heating. The industry found itself trying to catch up with the consumer demand for more stoves. There was little time to develop the technology that could lead to cleaner and more efficient stoves. Ironically, the intense, renewed popularity that revived this developing industry also caused it to come under scrutiny. It was a case of a developing industry unaware of the growing air pollution problem. The government, as they did with many other industries, sought assistance from the wood stove industry to help solve this air quality dilemma. What they found was an equally concerned and willing partner. In the late 70s and early 80s, wood-burning stove manufacturers, dealers, installers, and trade associations faced this challenge head-on by developing a technologically improved wood stove, cleaner, safer, and more efficient. Further, They began to develop safety listings for new stoves, improved standards for installation, and continued more vigorously educating the public about safe and efficient wood-burning practices. The result of this effort has been positive for both the industry and the consumer. Actually, it was discovered that older stoves didn't necessarily have to be a problem. Burned correctly, most were safe and clean. But because they weren't as sophisticated as the new improved design, they often burned inefficiently during a period in which the most smoke is created. Long, slow burns. If a homeowner didn't burn dry wood or didn't burn according to the manufacturer's guidelines, the problem intensified. This, combined with existing air quality problems, inspired the wood energy industry to assist the Environmental Protection Agency by developing a cleaner and more efficient wood stove. This problem-solving new design came about by looking at the basic components of wood combustion. In wood, there are actually two types of fuel available: the solid matter, which we commonly refer to as the wood, which comprises 50% of the available energy, and the smoke that is created by burning the wood, which accounts for the remaining 50% of the energy. The smoke in an older stove was escaping, by and large, into the atmosphere and creating a 50% loss of potential fuel. The problem could be solved by burning the smoke as well as the wood. Unfortunately, smoke has an ignition temperature that is much higher than wood. The problem: how to burn both the smoke and the wood in the same stove. The industry responded to this problem with not one, but two improved technology solutions. The standard airtight stove was upgraded in a very significant way. A high temperature chamber was developed and placed in the smoke's exhaust path. By feeding the chamber controlled air, a high temperature environment is created that burns up the particles in the smoke before they can escape up the flue. This not only reduces emissions significantly, but it recovers the smoke as a valuable source of heat. Because the stove is burning all available fuel at maximum potential and releasing less smoke into the atmosphere, it's burning clean and at the highest level of efficiency. The homeowner gains in 4 ways with this improved technology wood stove: increased heat from a more efficient stove. Less fuel is required because the stove burns less wood. An efficient stove burns more safely. And the stove produces less smoke for better air quality. Another popular improved technology approach used to solve the air quality problem was the development of a catalytic converter, similar to the catalytic converter in a car, which burns up exhaust smoke before it gets into the atmosphere. In a catalytic stove, the smoke is forced through a honeycomb-like device fed with air. This device lowers the ignition temperature of the smoke to one closer to that of wood, thus allowing the smoke to burn at about the same temperature as wood. The same advantages of economy, safety, and a cleaner installation are also benefits of catalytic stoves. So successful are these new improved technology wood stoves, many often exceed the clean air standards enacted by the Environmental Protection Agency. These standards, stated simply, prohibit the manufacture of any wood-burning stove that does not meet the minimum clean air standards set by the Environmental Protection Agency. New improved technology stoves meet the air quality challenge head-on. Today you can enjoy the warmth and comfort of wood and know you're burning clean. However, this legislation can leave homeowners with some questions. Is my old stove okay to burn? Do I need to buy a new stove? These questions can be answered in 2 ways. No, the law does not require that you replace an existing stove. But there is another answer. Yes, we all have a responsibility to keep our air clean and an improved technology wood heating appliance does just that. Besides being a better neighbor, you'll receive the added benefit of more burn for your buck from an efficient, properly installed and used improved technology stove. In addition, you'll have the added benefit of a safer and cleaner stove, and that means the security of knowing you and your family are enjoying wood heat in the most responsible and safest way. So even though it's not mandatory to purchase a new stove, it's a good idea if you want to take advantage of today's high efficiency, maximum safety, and cleaner burning wood heating appliances. If you have specific questions, your local wood stove dealer or state energy office is the place to start. Your dealer is a wood heating expert and can offer a detailed look at the latest in improved technology stove hardware. One of the first things to look for when you purchase an improved technology stove is a certification label. This label means the stove meets today's stringent clean air standards for wood-burning appliances and has been tested by an accredited laboratory. The next step is to select the size of stove best suited for the space heating requirements of your home. This is called sizing, and with proper room measurements, your dealer can direct you to many new exciting models that will fit your needs. Be sure to consider ceiling height, room size, and number of rooms to be heated. Considerations such as heat flow and which room is to receive the most heat should also become part of your plan. All these factors will help you determine the needed space heating capacity of your new stove. Your dealer can then help you select a stove that will deliver the right amount of heat to the right rooms with the proper heat flow at the right cost. Another important aspect of stove selection and installation is placement. In addition to appropriate heating capacity, your stove should be placed away from traffic areas, and the area of installation should be of sufficient size to allow for proper installation. Once you've made all the heating and spatial decisions, it's time to take a look at stoves that fit your decor. Modern stoves offer a vast array of styles suited to a variety of tastes. New technology stoves can be bold, modern, homey, traditional, classic, virtually anything you want them to be. Catalytic or non-catalytic, all are certified and bring the advantages of a safe, clean, and economical burn. Installation of your appliance should generally be done by a professional installer. However, many stoves are installed by homeowners. If you do it yourself, be sure and follow the same safe and correct installation procedures used by a professional. A crucial element in any installation is the chimney. Always refer to your manufacturer's guidelines listed in the installation and operating manual for this important information. Installation of certain types of stoves may involve several chimney considerations. For example, if your choice is a fireplace insert or hearth stove that exhausts into a masonry chimney, you should have your existing chimney inspected for suitability. It may be necessary to add chimney relining to your plans. Often, older masonry chimneys do not have the necessary clay flue liners needed to provide an exhaust for a wood stove. Those that do have flue liners are sometimes cracked or damaged from age. In these cases, it is necessary to reline your masonry chimney. Further, many masonry chimneys are not sized properly to your stove and need relining for proper sizing of the flue. Burning a wood stove in an improperly sized chimney can build up excessive amounts of highly flammable organic compounds called creosote that attach to the inside of the masonry chimney. This condition can increase the possibility of a chimney fire unless corrected. The solution to any of these problems is the simple relining of your chimney with one of several types of approved relining systems. As well as contributing to the safety and efficiency of your stove, These systems assure that your chimney is properly sized to your stove. In addition, relining systems used with proper burning practices keep creosote buildup to normal levels that require nothing more than regular chimney sweeping. Another chimney choice is a factory-built metal chimney. If you're building a home or remodeling, a factory-built and site-installed approved UL 103 HT metal chimney is also a safe and durable alternative and has a flue size to accommodate your stove. Installation of your stove into the room is another important element in determining its safety and efficiency. There are professional installers who are ready to assist you in purchasing, installing, and the maintenance of your stove. In 1981, the Wood Heating Alliance founded the Wood Heating Education and Research Foundation, or WERF for short. WERF is a nonprofit foundation formed to serve the public interest in advancing the safe and efficient use of wood and other solid fuels for residential heating. WERF sponsors the Solid Fuel Safety Technician Program, an in-depth study and testing program for home heating professionals and fire inspectors on the installation and use of solid fuel appliances. Over 2,200 participants have entered the program and have been certified as solid fuel safety technicians. The aim of this program is to ensure that consumers throughout the nation will have access to experienced and properly trained installation technicians. WERF certification, or using a licensed state installer and checking references, is always a good idea when selecting an installer. When installing a new stove, your wood stove dealer or local chimney sweep should be consulted. Because of the tremendous variety of stoves and styles available, each stove has slightly different installation requirements. A good installer will check the manufacturer's guidelines for installation requirements of a specific unit. Your dealer can answer any questions you might have. Always make sure the installation follows the clearance guidelines on the safety label attached to the back of your wood heating unit. These clearances were established to ensure your stove is installed safely away from household and other structural combustibles. Professional or do-it-yourselfer, it's vital to consult your manufacturer's clearance guidelines in the installation and operations manual. Be aware that many areas of the country have differing codes and regulations for wood stove installations. Always check with your local code officials to see if an installation permit is required and what local installation codes must be followed. Any certified installer should be familiar with both permit and installation codes. Again, check with your dealer if you have any questions. Above all, consult your dealer to arrange for a professional installation technician to visit your home. These professionals are experienced and familiar with the wide range of appliances, permits, and codes necessary to the safe and proper installation of your new wood heating appliance. And remember, it's a good idea to notify your insurance agent that your stove has been properly installed by a professional installation technician. A properly installed certified stove is a welcome addition to any home. It brings the comfort associated with wood heat and is a practical, natural way to heat your home. But like any appliance, the proper use of the appliance and fuel is essential to maximize the safety and efficiency of your stove. The clean, safe, efficient use of your stove can be maximized by the proper handling of fuel and good burning practices. It's easy to do right, and it takes very little time. In return, you'll receive all the benefits that can be derived from the joy of burning wood for heat. Here's a few tips you should keep in mind. First, be sure and purchase your fuel well in advance of the burning season, at least a year. If you cut your wood, the same principle applies. Stack your wood under cover, but make sure air can circulate easily throughout the pile. This is one suggested method of stacking, but the important thing is to allow for an airflow. Stacked wood should be dried, or seasoned as it's called, for at least a year. This seasoning reduces the water content in the wood and thus makes it more suitable for creating heat. It also promotes the least amount of emissions, and it's lighter, so it's much easier to carry. If the wood cannot be stacked under cover, then cover it with plastic sheeting, as shown here, allowing for air circulation under the sheeting. There are two types of wood available to you, those of the soft variety, such as fir and pine, and more dense or hard wood, such as oak. Soft wood works best for starting fires because it catches fire easily and splits with little effort. Remember, burn only 100% wood or wood products that contain no glue, binders, or treatment chemicals. They are unsafe, and they can damage your appliance. Start with kindling placed over a small piece of newspaper. After ignition, add small amounts of dry wood until the fire is well established. Opening the air control will cause more air to enter the firebox and help start the initial fire. Once a fire is established, add larger pieces of wood until the fire is up to its proper temperature. Reduce airflow to maintain a constant burn. Weather can affect the way you use your wood stove. On a cold day, load the stove fully after establishing your fire. Subsequent loads should be lesser amounts. After a good coal bed exists, it is usually sufficient to add one log at a time. On warmer days, burn smaller fires, but keep the air setting high enough for a clean burn. As a general rule, burning large pieces of wood on a hot coal bed will keep the fire constant and your house warm. The best advice is to consult your manufacturer's installation and operating manual for the proper startup and refueling techniques best suited to your stove. Be a good citizen, and if there are regulatory no-burn days in your area, don't burn. Another concern in the home that can affect the efficiency of your stove is back puffing. When smoke is being pulled back into the room, the source can usually be traced to open windows or exhaust fans. They are creating a reverse flow in the room and pulling smoke into the room. Simply close or shut off the source of the disturbance and the stove will return to normal. Another potential source of back puffing can be an improper chimney draft. Consult your dealer if the problem persists. Above all, follow your manufacturer's recommendations, and you'll know you're receiving the best service and safety your appliance can deliver. A final and essential ingredient that cannot be stressed enough in burning wood is maintenance. You wouldn't think of not servicing your car on a regular basis. So it goes with your wood stove. This modern appliance will give you long, trouble-free performance with a modest amount of maintenance. Have a professional sweep, clean, and inspect your wood stove and chimney at least once a year before the burning season begins. In heavy burning areas, even more frequent service may be required. Each year, a thorough inspection of your stove for items like cracks or bad seals is essential. On a catalytic stove, check to see if the catalyst is clean and the bypass valve works freely. No matter what type of stove you have, always have all ash removed from the stove at the end of the season. You should also personally inspect your stove and chimney at least every 2 months. If you spot problems or cleaning is necessary, attend to it before the burning season starts. But always have a professional sweep, inspect, and clean your stove and chimney at least once a year. A good, thorough job should include an inspection and complete cleaning of the entire heating system. For information about qualified sweeps in your area, contact your local dealer. A wealth of printed material is available from various industry and government sources. If you'd like information about these materials or simply have questions, consult your local dealer, chimney sweep, state energy office, or call the Wood Heating Alliance at this toll-free number, 1-800-KEEP-WARM. We'll be glad to answer your questions or direct you to someone who can assist you. Today's wood stoves are easy to operate, dependable, stylish, economical, more efficient, safer, and cleaner burning than ever before. So enjoy the best with improved technology wood stoves. They offer all the advantages of a modern design, plus the warmth and security of wood. To put it simply, feel good about wood. Join the wood burning tradition.